Hello and welcome to my channel, Rhino here. Today I'm doing my second installation in the Rhino Rants series, which most people seem to be in favor of, but if you weren't, then, don't watch. Today I'll be talking about Christmas, and the how and why I celebrate it as an atheist. So let's go! As an atheist, I have often heard Christians wonder at the fact that many atheists celebrate Christmas. Christmas is a religious holiday, is it not? A Christian wouldn't celebrate an Islamic holiday, so why would an atheist celebrate a Christian holiday? I'll even go so far as to tell you that I have a nativity scene set up on my mantle, complete with baby Jesus. So, as someone who is trying to raise my kids without religion so that they can make that decision for themselves when they're old enough, why would I expose them to all this religious iconography? If you follow me on Twitter, you might even recall me tweeting about potentially dying while decorating for Jesus' fake birthday. Why would I risk my life to put up decorations to celebrate the birth of someone that I'm not even sure ever existed, much less that he was who the Bible claims he is? Well, first I would like to clarify that I am very careful when hanging Christmas lights, so I don't think my life was ever actually in danger, but I do hate heights, so despite all my precautions, I was still extremely uncomfortable. So why go through all that if I don't believe? The simple answer is, because it's fun. Not the actual decorating, that's a nightmare, but seeing the look on my kids' faces when the house is lit up in bright colors for the night is fun. Driving around town looking at other people's lights is fun. I live close to Niagara Falls, so going through the festival of lights that they put up every year is fun. Presents are fun. Spending Christmas Day in our brand new Christmas pajamas is fun. Going to my dad's house and unwrapping the socks that his wife gets for everyone is fun. That's actually the only reason I can tell that I'm an adult. I actually look forward to getting socks for Christmas. Spending time with family is fun. Listening to bad Christmas music is fun. I could go on and on, but basically, it's a lot of fun. To go into more detail, I know most Muslims would not celebrate a Christian holiday and that most Christians would not celebrate a Muslim holiday. But as an atheist, I don't see a problem with celebrating a religious holiday. As a Christian, I could see the reasoning behind limiting the celebrations of other holidays. That could be seen as celebrating or even worshipping a god that is not your god, potentially upsetting your god. But as an atheist, I'm not convinced that a god even exists, so who am I going to upset by celebrating a holiday from a religion that I don't believe in? Nobody, that's who. And what is with Christians getting upset about the phrase happy holidays? I don't get that one either. My mother is one of those people. If somebody wishes her happy holidays, she will politely but firmly say Merry Christmas back at them, as if she's issuing a correction rather than actually wishing them a Merry Christmas. I don't get that. There are more holidays this time of year than just Christmas. Most cultures, both today and historically, have celebrated the winter solstice in one way or another. It's halfway out of the dark on the way to spring and summer again.
On every world, wherever people are, in the deepest part of the winter, at the exact midpoint, everybody stops and turns and hugs, as if to say, well done. Well done, everyone. We're halfway out of the dark.
There are more holidays than just Christmas. Probably the biggest one that you might encounter is Hanukkah. I've seen people blame the atheists for the Happy Holidays phrase, but it's really just out of respect for the fact that not everybody celebrates Christmas. Looking at the numbers, there are about 6 million Jews in Canada and the US, that's about 1.5% of the total population, which means that if you are, say, a cashier at Walmart, for every 100 people you say Merry Christmas to, there were 1 to 2 people that are Jewish and probably don't celebrate Christmas. It's not a lot to be sure, but being a minority does not mean that your feelings don't matter. And that's ignoring the other groups that don't celebrate Christmas, like Muslims. The insistence on saying Merry Christmas to people that you don't know is, in my opinion, rather arrogant. Going back to my mother, what if the person who wished you happy holidays is Jewish or Muslim, and rather than just smile and say you too, or something like that, she pushes back and firmly insists on wishing them a Merry Christmas? I know my mother does this with the best of intentions, but realistically, it's just rude. And most people are too polite to make it known that they don't like being wished a Merry Christmas. Now, all this being said, I also think that most people are aware that Christmas is the holiday celebrated by the majority, and even if they don't celebrate it themselves, they will at least tolerate the festive greetings. In fact, because of how secular Christmas can be nowadays, many Jewish people actually do celebrate Christmas along with Hanukkah at the same time, so they probably won't be offended if you wish them a Merry Christmas. The point of this video is not to get people to stop saying Merry Christmas. I'm simply pointing out that Happy Holidays is not meant as an insult to Christianity, but simply an understanding that not everybody celebrates Christmas. I've seen Christians in one video say that atheists shouldn't celebrate Christmas, and then later in the same video say that people shouldn't say Happy Holidays but Merry Christmas because Christmas is the holiday. If you don't think atheists should celebrate Christmas, why do you want them saying Merry Christmas? Christmas is mostly a cultural thing at this point, and in fact always has been. The Christmas tradition has its roots deep in paganism. Yule logs are pagan. Hanging wreaths are pagan. The Christmas tree itself is debatably of pagan origin. Whether or not it actually is pagan, it does look very much like it's forbidden in the Bible. Jeremiah 10:1-4 says, "Learn not the ways of the nations, nor be dismayed at the signs of the heavens, because the nations are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vanity. A tree from the forest is cut down and worked with an axe by the hands of a craftsman. They decorate it with silver and gold. They fasten it with hammer and nails so that it cannot move." That certainly sounds like a prohibition on Christmas trees to me. My point is, Christmas is easy to separate from religious beliefs at this point. With emphasis on spending time with loved ones, it is easy to de-emphasize the birth of Jesus. In case you were wondering, we do tell our kids about it, but in an academic sort of way. We also, to highlight some of the contradictions in the Christmas story, have the wise men camping out separately from the rest of the nativity scene, as if you actually read the story, they arrived in Bethlehem when Jesus was around 2 years old, which directly contradicts the other Christmas story where they left Bethlehem when Jesus was around 2 months old. And for the record, we actually do plan on observing Hanukkah in the future as a way of teaching my kids about other cultures, but I have found it difficult for a goyim like myself to find a menorah, so probably next year. But now that we've spoken about the birth of the magical guy who sees you when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake and knows if you've been bad or good, let's bring it around to Santa Claus. What do I do about Santa? As an atheist, I don't want to lie to my kids about religion, so do I lie to them about Santa and tell them that he's real? No, I don't. But doesn't that spoil the fun? In my experience, no, it can actually make it quite a bit more fun. First and foremost, because I have told all my kids that Santa is not real, I don't have to worry about someone letting it slip and thereby upsetting them. I've seen parents go through huge amounts of stress about this. Second, my kids help pick out stocking stuffers for myself and Mrs. Rhino. They have a lot of fun with that, and we have been known to get some absolutely ridiculous stocking stuffers as a result, which makes for many laughs on Christmas morning. As far as Santa's presents are concerned, they still get presents listed as being from Santa, and they still put out cookies and hot chocolate for Santa at bedtime. We go with hot chocolate rather than milk because Santa's probably tired of milk by the time he gets to our house. And the kids joke about putting out peppermint hot chocolate for Santa because they know that I drink it and that I hate all things mint. And with all this honesty about Santa not being real, my youngest still believes that he is real. So when he eventually does come to the realization that Santa is not real, he will not also have the realization that his parents have been lying to him for years. All this being said, I'm not against parents telling their kids that Santa is real. My kids have all been firmly told not to tell other kids that Santa isn't real because some people choose to teach their kids that he is, and it's not our place to decide how other people's children should be parented. But for us, we still have a lot of fun with Santa and Christmas, even with the truth that Santa doesn't exist and is very loosely based off an ancient bishop, and that if Jesus really was an historical figure, he very likely was not born on Christmas Day. So there you have it. The reason I celebrate Christmas as an atheist is because it's fun, and at this point it's basically a secular holiday anyway. And as a bonus, you now know my rationale behind how we deal with Santa Claus in my house. So thanks for watching, remember to follow me on Twitter and support me on Patreon. See you next time!